Welcome to the Dan Casper Show podcast, your chance to catch the full show anytime, anywhere. If you missed it live on the radio, no worries. We've got you covered with all the sports talk, opinions, interviews, and conversations from the show. From the Packers to the Brewers to the biggest stories in sports and around Wisconsin, it's all right here. This is the Dan Casper Show podcast. All right, final hour kicking off on this Wednesday morning. We are making a turn on this week. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll get back to some baseball talk here in just a skosh, but I want to bring this up because this is always kind of fun to take a look at. So Sportico released their NFL franchise valuation rankings. Okay, so how much are these franchises worth? Well, we could just tell you that a lot of them went up this year, which is probably big surprise. Any guess on who number one is?
Might it be the Dallas Cowboys?
Ding, ding. They are worth a whopping $15.5 billion. Shocker. Second, Rams at 12.7.
Okay.
Giants, third. Patriots, fourth. And the Jets moving up 3 spots to the 5th spot.
But
what's the
also
common theme here?
New York, Los Angeles, or big success, or you're the Cowboys and everyone talks about you.
Yep, exactly. So, where do the Packers and the Vikings rank on this list? The team that fell the furthest from previous year's ranking was the Green Bay Packers.
Wow.
They fell 4 spots. They are the 22nd ranked team. However, they moved up 33% from last year's ranking.
So they're still going up.
Yeah, they're worth $8.59 billion.
See, now, if Mark Murphy hadn't been sledding down that hill, imagine how much further up they could have gone.
Yep.
You guys still got about 15 more minutes to get in your Mark Murphy takes, and they're really expired.
But so they were like a little over $6 billion last year. So they actually went up. Even though they went down in the rankings in the NFL, they went up. Your Vikings are tied for the second for this fall. They were 23rd, so they're behind Green Bay. But they also had a 32% growth. Yeah. No team had a negative. In fact, the team that had the smallest amount of one-year value change is a team that's in the top 5. That'd be the Giants at 17% growth.
Probably because the Giants are, I don't really want to say they're a tire fire. I think they're a little more stable. Mm-hmm. But, yeah.
Any guess on the team that had the highest increase from last year? May not be a big surprise after. I don't want to give it away, but after I might
Commanders?
explain to you. No.
Okay. I suppose that their big game would have been right after the Snyder one, so that's a little outdated.
You're on the right track though, since with just that, what you just said there.
So, Seahawks?
Seahawks, 46% increase.
And then you got a nice actual purchase number to attach to that. Plus, Of course, Super Bowl.
Yep. Chicago, by the way, they dropped 3 spots, but they are 14th on this list. Okay. The team that is the fewest amount of billions of dollars.
I did see the list there, but
Bengals and then the Saints. So Detroit 27th on that list in terms. So the Ford family. Yeah.
I mean, they actually have to maybe win a few more things in the playoffs, I guess.
But the top 3 has been the same for the last, I'm kind of going back, last few years. Giants and Rams have kind of flip-flopped. 2023 was the last year the Giants were in the second spot behind Dallas. So
the interesting thing, too, here, we were just talking about big markets, and the Giants and the Jets and the Rams are all up at the top, and then the Chargers are 19th. Mm-hmm. So just because you're in Los Angeles, and again, that was a knock on L.A. for the longest time. Like, how many fans do they actually have? Well, I mean, that's still kind of a thing with the Chargers, plus they still underwhelm. Whereas the Rams have been good, by and large, and being in Los Angeles, so you got a 1-2 punch with that. They feel more like, and well, I still think it helps with perception. A lot of this is perception. The Cowboys, it's perception. A lot of it is that the Rams feel like an LA team to an outsider. Now, if you actually asked a Los Angelino, I don't know what they'd say. I don't want to pretend to know what they would say about that. But here in Western Wisconsin, they feel like an LA team a little bit more. I still call the Chargers the San Diego Chargers. So there you go.
I do too.
Yeah. It's not going to change. Side note, I'm not calling the Titans. I almost screwed this up. I almost said I call the Oilers I call the Titans the Oilers just because the uniform changed. Solely because of that, and all offseason since that change, now I call them the Oilers again. It's not the worst thing in the world, but that's back. So anyway, go on.
What I was going to say is the one thing. So we look at all these valuations, but you look at the top teams. How many of those are perennial playoff contending teams? Compare that to maybe like baseball and, team valuations and such.
Doesn't quite sync up.
No. I mean, Rams, yeah. I mean, they're a favorite again. Dallas is always kind of hovering, but I mean, for crying out loud, when was the joke the last time they won it or been to a conference game?
It is. We are now 31 years removed from their last Super Bowl and conference championship game appearance.
Yep.
Giants, maybe better, but
Patriots just were in the Super Bowl,
but they went through a fallow period. But they're all look, their name, that brand's going to hold for a while.
Jets, Dolphins,
and the Dolphins,
the Raiders. Come on, you mean? And then Atlanta's a top 10 team too. So.
No, Commanders, no. We skip past the 49ers, who obviously have been good, and the Eagles have been good. Yep. But here, that's your point. About half of those teams either have a lot of bad seasons or they've gone a long time without doing anything of significance in the playoffs. Dolphins, really, I mean, maybe that's some history holding up there. Again, that's your formative years will keep a lot of what you have locked in your mind of success. In the case of the Dolphins, I still am used to them being a great team from the 70s and 80s because those were my formative years. They haven't been to a conference championship game since 1992. I'm trying to think which team has gone longer, and I think the longer one, the Cleveland Browns.
I think you might be right.
Yeah, because I know that just about I think the Dolphins have these. I think the Dolphins have the longest run right now of any non-Cleveland Browns team because, again, asterisk, years off, blah, blah, blah.
Okay. Houston's never been, but, I mean, they were new 2002. Yeah, Browns, last appearance 1990, Dolphins 93, Cowboys
and that's
96.
The January of,
yep.
so it's it's been a long time for the Dolphins, a long time for the Cowboys.
Speaking of team values, some breaking news.
Ooh.
For the second time in 18 months, the Lakers have been sold.
What? Again?
Yep.
Why?
Bob Iger from Walt Disney.
Bob Iger? And okay, I follow entertainment stuff a little more, so that's why I'm a little bit.
Josh Kushner, who's that? That name sounds familiar.
Now is there any relation to Jared Kushner of Trump world? But I don't know if Josh Kushner's part of that.
He is the younger brother of Jared Kushner.
Oh, okay.
So $12 billion.
Holy
record-breaking price of over $12 billion. So apparently Kushner and Iger were involved in the expansion process in Vegas, but a stunning turn. They pivoted to make an aggressive offer to buy the Lakers from Mark Walter, who had purchased a controlling interest in the team from Buss family last year.
Wasn't there something involving Walter and there was some, I know I'm being vague on this, but there was something that was a little bit something was a little off with whatever, I don't know. That came out about a month or two ago. And I wonder if that has anything to do with this.
I don't know.
Maybe. Interesting. Very interesting.
$12 billion.
I mean, Bob Iger is again, for anyone who doesn't follow that, Bob Iger has been main Disney guy he took some time out, came back. Mm-hmm. Kushner, again.
Apparently he's also a minority owner of the Heat. So I'm assuming that's going to be done. So
Ooh, Heat Lakers.
Must be a big Pat Riley guy.
Right. Ooh, we're going to bring Pat Riley back to the Lakers? Okay, there's going to be some really bad takes out there. Someone's actually going to say that. That's not going to happen. Giannis to the Lakers. Side note, so are we picking up, and maybe you did talk about this already, the whole, like, Giannis is not under pressure?
Oh, I didn't see this.
A little bit. Okay, now, and mind you, I'd say Jim Osharski was calling this out, like, the last day or two. Like, oh, really? We're already starting to say, like, pressure's off now that he's in Miami. Like, after all of this, like, the Bucks need to do him right and win or trade, and now, now the ones that were saying this, I think he was noting Zach Lowe and it's another one of the main analyst types, and Osharski A said he respects them. Mm-hmm. B, I don't know if Lowe and some of the others have, like, are they ones that had similarly said he's under pressure before? You know, like, it's the whole, like, people will complain about one thing. Situation changes. People complain about the other. Well, was it the same people? It could be different people. So but I want to flag that a little bit. Like, how much do we see? Giannis is not under any pressure this year. Just keep that in the back of your mind as the season goes on.
Part of that because of what the 76ers did. So, like, all the pressures on the 76ers.
I kind of wonder, like, I was thinking that with regards, like, of course, we had the opening night and the Christmas schedule come out. Mm-hmm. And that made me think, because, of course, the Timberwolves finally got a home game on Christmas Day. But then it dawned on me, the machine that was moving into Ant Must Be Moved quieted down. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's because there was no more smoke there. Okay. I also wonder if, probably more likely, because a lot of this is superficial, how much this was just LeBron. I don't know about everyone else. I was getting sick of, like, all these LeBron updates. I thought that I know LeBron's a very huge talking point, mm-hmm. but I thought the whole LeBron free agency thing was a little overdriven as the summer went along, and I'm guessing that sucked up all of the oxygen for anything else NBA related this summer. Mm-hmm. After free agency, it felt like most of July, even getting into early August, was LeBron. So that probably quieted everything else down. Giannis, Ant, you name it, probably not a whole heck of a lot. So now we see this with the Lakers. Post-LeBron, $12 billion. Were they because I saw the list from Sportico, but it was by sport, not team, of the most valuable franchises, and it was like football, basketball, like literally the ball itself.
Yep.
Was that the Lakers? And this is pre that, because I was looking at that like 2 minutes before the Lakers thing came out. But that has to be it.
It's got to be the Lakers, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be. Yeah, because when I tried clicking on it, it doesn't say.
It's got to be the Lakers. If you ask me which one is the most valuable NBA franchise, it's the Lakers.
So, yeah, it's football, basketball's 4. Football. That's top 10. Mm-hmm. Then basketball. I would assume Knicks, Celtics, maybe.
Knicks
possibly.
And Celtics would be my guesses. Mm-hmm. Again, I know the data's out there if anyone can see it. Cool, but that would be my guess.
Football. Baseball finally shows up at 18.
It's got to be probably the Dodgers at this point. I would ordinarily say the Yankees, but right now, I would say the Dodgers.
Then another football. Then another baseball. And Yankees. Then, it's got to be the next time a baseball team shows up is 41. So it's got to be Dodgers, Yankees, and then maybe Mets after that.
Maybe the Cubs. Or Red Sox.
Red Sox with John Henry in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the highest ranked soccer ball?
36.
Probably Inter Miami right now, entirely because of Lionel Messi.
Mm-hmm. But just to tell you how valuable football is, every football team, of the top 100 most valuable sports teams, every single football team is in the top 38.
Yeah. That's the nature of the NFL right now. The valuations are high. They're going to go.
First hockey team shows up at 74. A Formula One or NASCAR team shows up before a hockey team.
More international money there. And, like, the demographic, it has a lot more finances than the hockey demographic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll just say racing shows up at 44.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, again, it's probably like a McLaren or someone like that is up there. And yeah, we could find the numbers, but that would be my first guess. So the highest, which one would be number one in hockey right now? Would it be the Leafs? Again, they're like the Cowboys. Yeah. They haven't done anything in decades.
Yeah. I don't like Rangers. Would they be just
maybe the Rangers? As much as they're always seemingly relevant, it's not the Penguins. I don't think it's the Caps, even with Ovechkin. It's not. I know Florida has dominated hockey for the most part this decade, but I wouldn't say the Lightning or the Panthers are that big. It's not the defending champion Hurricanes.
No. Not the Red Wings.
They've tailed off. Like they could easily leap back up, but they've been too bad for too long, and now they're resetting themselves. Not the Blackhawks. I don't think it's Vegas. Is good again. Vegas has been pretty good. Again, got to the Stanley Cup final, but it's not. They're not tops there. Fascinating on that. So, $12 billion for the Lakers.
Start saving, kids, if you want to own a sports franchise. That's where we're at.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen anytime.
No. So if that's 12, again, what was the top for, just really quick, because I know I got to take a break.
$15 billion for the Cowboys.
15, and then...
Now, mind you, 15 was Sporticos, and $12 billion is the coincidentally, the news breaking right now about the Lakers' sale would be worth $12 billion.
Right. So that would put them, if we did it, still at fourth, because the Giants are $12 billion worth value. So, okay. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Get your piggy banks going, kiddos. You want to be a sports franchise owner? Start saving now.
You could have a sports franchise. It's just probably not going to be in the
pro
end.
One,
right? Or very tiny pro, super semi-pro.
Yep. This is where I think now that we're probably going to see, and I know the NFL has strict rules on this, but they're going to have to expand it more investors. Where they limit that, what's the investment groups? There's a name for that.
Hedge. Well,
is it hedge funds or
hedge funds? But that's not. But that's one of the usual sources. Private equity.
Yes. Because with the values of these,
you don't have the money.
Yeah, there's not one person who could just cut that check. So.
Don't have $12 billion, right? Hey, here you go.
Yeah.
Nope.
All right, let's take a quick break. Back with some baseball talk coming up after these few words. What are some of the latest and greatest sales going on at Hy-Vee in Eau Claire? How about 3 for $9 Jack's frozen pizzas? Yeah, load up those deep freezers, baby. How about $4.99 for a 2-pack of boneless, skinless chicken breasts, firing up the grills? And as always, don't forget to check out where you can also save some money at the gas pump. So if you buy some celery for $1.49, you can also save some perks with the fuel perks too. So if you shop smart by checking the Hy-Vee flyer here, you could earn up to $4.18 off per gallon this week. It is possible. I have seen people do this where they have to pay a penny to fill up their gas tank if you shop smart. So check out the flyer at Hy-Vee in Eau Claire by looking up Hy-Vee in Eau Claire's Facebook page. Just kind of going through some of the stuff here about this Lakers thing is kind of interesting. Not often do you see an iconic franchise get sold twice within under 2 years.
That's the strange thing with this.
Exactly. And honestly, I know we were talking a little bit about the valuations of these franchises. It's not that far off to see a franchise probably going to be sold for $20 billion at some point, right?
Here's the question. Will a big franchise be sold? Period.
But does that increase the price of other ones when they do become?
They do. Then the thing is, it's the churn below. They can get higher and higher. And so, of course, that would push. But, see, now that might make it less likely that the biggest ones do get sold. So let's say Shad Khan sells the Jaguars. and gets the Jaguars to like $7 billion. I don't know what, maybe I'm actually understating the Jags. But you're like, Jaguars, $7 billion? Well, if they're that, then what would the Cowboys? But then they must be $20 billion because you do the whole relativity thing. Well, now, also, we're estimating the actual prices are going to be different than what we estimated. Sportico's great with this, but they're doing the best that they can evaluate. You actually have to have people have dollars or invested dollars to spend on a purchase. So, I can't remember where I was reading it. It might be, I just won't say his name because it's not a hot take here. But now with the Seahawks being done, I mean, who's next? No one seems like an obvious. Now, of course, you would have said that about the Lakers, clearly. Yeah. Shocker. So, barring the shockers.
Well, heck, even the Celtics, wasn't that like a couple years ago?
Wasn't that long ago? I don't know. Like, okay, if you're just going NFL, Jerry Jones is not selling that is staying in the family for probably the rest of our lives. Let's be real.
Well, I thought the same thing with the Bus family.
Oh, yeah. So, right. So, again, shockers can happen.
Yep.
Sure looks like the Maritish thing is moving through their families, so the Giants probably aren't going anywhere.
Same with the Bears. It's going to be in the house, Mikulski or whatever family. Yep.
All of that, the Kraft family will probably hold on to the Pats.
Ford's assuming Detroit.
Probably. The Jets, I don't know with Woody Johnson, but I'm guessing he's probably going to keep it that way. I don't see the Lurie selling. Yeah. Like, again, you start going through the list, and logically, they're probably holding. So I don't think we're going to see a big sale there. Maybe baseball, basketball, you look around some of those. But, I mean, unless with the Dodgers, I know they got several people involved there. But if Mark Walter if that's certain something that might be out there is a thing, do the Dodgers get sold? But also their value right now is getting so high, who would?
And they got a lot of bills to be paying here, too. So
that's another thing, yeah. Deferred money. Well, That is money that ultimately does need to be paid.
Yep.
Combined with what if the CBA is not that favorable to a very deferred-oriented team? So, the Steinbrenners really selling the Yankees at any point? The Ricketts going to sell the Cubs? I mean,
I'll ask a Cubs fan, and that you get different thoughts.
Well, sure, they may want that, but is it going to happen?
Right.
And then there's the Fenway Group with John Henry. Now, again, you ask Red Sox fans, they really want that to happen, but would they do that?
Right.
Probably not. Stephen Cohen is sure as heck not selling the Mets.
No. That's a legit fan playing some Monopoly money with his team.
That's if you got to own the Brewers.
Yeah.
Would you sell the Brewers?
No.
No, of course not.
Nope. I'd be in the red before I would. No. I'd still be in the red, and I'd still keep them. So.
No, of course. You got to own your favorite team. I don't like the Wilfs are probably not going to sell the Vikings if we're looking more locally, and we know the Packers. So there's your NFC North. We just addressed all four, and that's not realistically not changing anytime soon. So I don't think we will see the opportunity again outside of a Lakers situation from this morning. No, I don't think it's necessarily going to come up anytime soon. So the valuations keep going up for the foreseeable future. I did read finish that Chuck Klosterman book that I.
Oh, you already read?
Yeah, it's the Altoona Summer Reading Program because I live in Altoona, and you got to read 10 books by August 15th. So I'm like, well, I had to.
Oh, you're like a school and
kind of
procrastinating a little bit.
Well, you know what? Actually, A, yes, I'm a procrastinator. B, here I was like, no, you gotta read. So I made a point to find any waking moment that I could. How did I make it through 10 books? Okay, one of them, admittedly, was like a big atlas book, so it's one of those that you can't really read all full. But I've read enough of it, so is it okay? I'm not going to spoil it because you still got to read it. But you could see the scenario where the valuations go down. And I think a lot of that's now Klosterman makes his football case. So I won't go further into that again. Spoiler, not more specifically for you here on the other side of the studio, but for anyone reading. But I could see a scenario where one of the things he lays out for why football may, shall we say, not be as popular in the longer term future. This is not like the whole football's going to fall apart in 5 years. He's not saying that at all. Advertising. At what point do businesses go,
that's enough?
Commercials, yeah, like, what are we really getting in return for this? That underpins a lot of valuations because sports media rights, advertisers hold that up. If that ever starts, if we ever get to a saturation point, and we're not there, obviously. The Super Bowl, I think, is sold out already. Mm-hmm. Didn't I see that story the other day?
Yep.
It probably is out there. I mean, I don't think you can keep going up, and have like a $1 trillion Super Bowl advertisement and throwing something like that. No, that's not going to happen. If we hit a peak, then the media organizations aren't going to spend as much, and the values start to go down. I think that I don't think this necessarily goes up in for eternity. Mm-hmm. But I don't know where that peak is. Is it $50 billion? Is it $100 billion for an American sports team? I mean, you've got the international ones as well. And now you also see why I think, and maybe I'm connecting two things that there's not a connection, but I think this is a big part of why leagues in America want to grow internationally. Because there's more advertising dollars out there, because there are more eyeballs out there, people who aren't fans already.
Right.
So you grow it around the world, even if it's not necessarily in the United States of America. There are X number of people. And if younger people maybe aren't quite as interested, or if they're in it because of polymarket, gambling, college, any of that, well, it's not necessarily because of the sport.
Right.
And that you can hollow out underneath a lot of that. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know when we're going to see a $20 billion sale, for example. Mm-hmm. I don't know that it will happen. Who's going to sell? Yeah. Maybe not.
All right, we'll take a quick break. Back with plenty more coming up as we start to wrap up the final hour after these quick words. Don't forget to pack Carson Park tonight as the Express will be taking on St. Cloud in the playoffs. The Express defeating La Crosse last night 3-1 in a decisive Game 3. So if the Express win tonight, talking about championship game then. So we'll make sure you, if you got some time tonight, got nothing going on, head on down to Carson Park and pack that stadium to cheer them on. To hopefully, I like not to jinx it, but I like their chances here. I like it. So let's get her done.
So if they don't get through, then you are the jinx. Clearly,
probably
right here. Yes,
probably. So, but
this is pretty cool. Seeing them do this.
Yeah, and they've been, solid throughout the whole season. I mean, first half they were making a push. I know they got off to a little bit of a slow start as guys were starting to come in.
Always happens.
Second half they were amazing.
They've been really good of late, so yep. I generally like their chances. Yeah, yep. I do.
That was, and makes it a little bit sweeter too to beat La Crosse. Just saying,
always good. Yeah. Yes.
Brewers wise, it was not good last night. They're just kind of scrounging up the lineup. Terang was playing at short. Andrew Vaughn got to start at third base the night prior. So Kyle Harrison was not on last night. Hopefully they can at least get a game in this series and go into that Dodgers series with a little bit of momentum.
Well, but the Pods did upgrade more.
They did. They're a better Padres team than what they were a couple months ago.
Yes,
I think we can all agree on that. Mm-hmm. But even going to the Twins series, it was a tough series against the Twins.
Yeah.
They had to fight and claw to win that series. Mm-hmm. So nothing's been going easy here for the Brewers. And when we ask, on that sweat scale, where are you at? Yeah, I'm nervous just because, in part, it's a lot of factors. Injuries, how well the Cubs have been playing.
Yeah.
Schedule, Cubs have an easier schedule. They're finishing up with the Nationals the next couple of days and then the Cardinals. So, and the Cubs just beat the Dodgers. So,
right.
4-game lead. Yeah, I'm a little nervous.
I understand.
I'm a little nervous, but I think the comforting maybe part of this is that, okay, you would hope that these injuries that the Brewers are going through with position player wise, they're all going to come back. It's not going to be long-term stuff, but it's just you have two of your shortstops getting hurt at the same time. Not ideal.
The timing is not good.
Yeah.
They could use a bat.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't help too when Contreras and Yelich are not hitting well.
It's again cliche. A perfect storm right now, small scale perfect storm. Because again, this isn't like lost all their starting pitchers right now. And Churio's out with an injury that's going to take him out for the rest of the season. It's nothing like that. Churio went a long time without hitting a home run either.
Yeah.
But then he got a little bit more back on track. So again, it's not 100% bad news for the Brewers at this point. But it's again the ebb and flow of the season, and I think they're right in a bit of an ebb,
right at
this point. Yeah, I
know some people are saying, "Oh, see, they already peaked." And
no. I don't think so. I think it's more of an amalgamation or a confluence. I'm trying to fancy words here, but like a lot of stuff is not going great at one time,
right?
And it happens to a lot of teams. That's what's happening right now. I don't see some fundamental problem with the Brewers where they're not going to do well in the playoffs because of what's happening right now.
Right.
So I'm okay.
Yep. Yeah.
For now. Anyway.
For now, I'm good. Let's get out of San Diego. let's. I don't know why it's West Coast, San Diego. Let's get out of there, and hopefully they have a good showing. The one start, it's a 4-game series too with the Dodgers. Remember, Brewers will be going up against Skubal in Game 4, and the Brewers will be pitching Logan Henderson, which is a great storyline with that matchup because. By all accounts, if the Brewers would have included Logan Henderson in the trade proposal, Skubal would be with the Brewers. Mm-hmm. So that is a great storyline matchup.
That'll be nice.
If I'm Henderson, of course I'm going to be a little bit more amped up with it. You'll downplay it. Mm-hmm. It's that fine line of just making sure that you don't overdo it. So you get too wound up and you get away from what you've been doing so great this year.
My early prediction is the Dodgers will win that game. I know that's still a little ways out, but
I think that'll be the Sunday game if I remember. But yeah,
presuming there are no surprise injuries or whatever. But that would be my guess. Yeah, look, the Brewers are still up 4 on Chicago. They're realistically going to win the division. Again, it's tightening up a little bit right now, but even 4-game leads at this point, yeah, they can. We've seen it plenty of times get overturned very late, but most times they stay fairly stable. I think the Brewers will hold on in the division anyway. Whether they hold on for a top 2, we'll see. It's close enough competition, but no, I think they will ultimately be okay.
So before we have to let you go here in a few minutes, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask this. Kyler Murray has already been named your starting quarterback for your Vikings. The timing before the first preseason game, now I think it's a legit question. J.J. McCarthy's future. It's a tricky land. It's not saying it can't be done, but it's a tricky thing to okay, his first year he was hurt. Okay, kind of wash it. Last year, starter, 10 games, won 6 out of the 10 games.
Yeah.
Up and down performances. So now you bring in a veteran. He's benched. Now we've seen Bryce Young get benched, and it exploded after that. That's probably the exception to a lot of that. So, but not saying it can't happen. But I mean, the future of J.J. McCarthy in Minnesota, is it pretty bleak? Did they give up on him? Did they just rush him too much last year because it was kind of his rookie year? It's a thin line. It's a really thin line in this thing.
Yeah.
But how do you feel personally about your quarterback situation for the next few years?
For the next few years, not great. Kyler Murray feels like a one-time one. That's no shock with this. But we also knew Kyler Murray was brought in to be the starting quarterback. That's the reason why he went to Minnesota. He would not have if he was thought to be a backup. Judd Zulgad at his Score North, or his Substack, was ragging on the Vikings a bit for so why do we have to go through this charade? Do the back and forth and back and forth. That reduced the number of reps that Murray ultimately probably needed more importantly than McCarthy to get used to an entirely new offense. And when we knew what was going to probably happen in the end, was this about keeping McCarthy? And maybe O'Connell genuinely wanted to get this far along. Like he said, he had about this time in mind to name a starter. Maybe he legitimately wanted it. Fair enough. But long term, I don't know if McCarthy's going to be with the team. I don't know if he's going to be with the team in a week. Like when I saw the news yesterday, I thought, are we going to see some behind-the-scenes trade machinations going on, whether that's from McCarthy, whether the Vikings decide, hey, let's move him out. On the other hand, Murray had coworkers here at the building was talking about this yesterday. Both McCarthy and Murray have injury history, so maybe you need to have them both because your other option's Carson Wentz.
Mm-hmm. Who has injury history.
Yes. Rosemer, really? But what could you get from McCarthy at this point? I mean, I know people will be like, yeah, well, he could be a third stringer with the Jets. Like, go with, like, the worst-case scenario.
The other part, though, too, okay, so if we're talking trade value, though, how much does his value hurt that your head coach is the play caller, too? And, look what they did with Sam Darnold, and you're not able to do that. Is it more on the McCarthy? Is it more on O'Connell?
Yeah, like if Murray, okay, that's part of the reason maybe, well, oh, boy. Yeah, I could see this go either way. You'd get more McCarthy trade value if Murray has a disappointing year this year. Then it's...
But at that point, are you even going to trade McCarthy then? Probably not.
Well, you probably wouldn't. You get more value if it looks like it's not O'Connell, if it looks like, well, maybe something just wasn't working right. Because if Murray has a great year, after Darnold had a good time, I mean, even... I was going to say Wentz. There were a couple moments Wentz looked okay, a couple.
There was that one hot minute last year. I think there was people saying, ooh, starter.
Whoa, yeah. Here we go. But if that's all the case, and then McCarthy, and again, I keep saying this over and over, McCarthy looked better towards the end of last year. Does not mean that he's now on the track, because McCarthy has not looked that great in the preseason. Again, I think a lot of that is the back and forth. Neither Murray nor McCarthy looked that great. They didn't look terrible, but they didn't look great.
So maybe this is where Minnesota and O'Connell's like, okay, enough with the charades. We know what's going to happen here. Yeah. This is so then maybe they can play more loose, relax.
Maybe so. And that, right, the back and forth didn't help. Mm-hmm. But we're also trying to evaluate an entire season based on early parts of training camp. It's legit. They're actually practicing and we're observing it, but is that everything? No. But yeah, it would hurt McCarthy's trade value if all these other quarterbacks do well and McCarthy doesn't. And like, well, there's clearly a problem with McCarthy. That's the superficial way of looking at it. But I'm sure there's some teams that go, well, yeah, we'll give you a 7th rounder, maybe.
Yeah.
Whereas if Murray doesn't have that great of a season, maybe McCarthy plays more. And what if McCarthy figures it out? See, and then this is a moot point.
The happiest man probably is if he's able to get McCarthy for a backup is going to be Harbaugh.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, that'll be the first rumor. If McCarthy's going to be out there that'll be the first one. Mm-hmm. And he'll be a backup because he thinks Justin Herbert's the best quarterback of all time, too. So,
he's not. It'll be
he'd probably find a way to try to figure out to get both of them on the field at the same time.
Ooh, does he become the new Taysom Hill?
Right. Yeah.
The Swiss Army knife.
He'll try to figure out something, but yeah.
Side note, anyone calling for the Packers to bring in Taysom Hill?
I wondered when it happened, but nobody said anything.
Packers
last week,
fans like, hey, we can redeem ourselves.
We need tight end depth. I'm just saying.
Oh, there you go.
We ain't got anybody outside Tucker Kraft.
He can kind of play sort of tight end, so yeah. There you go. Yeah, I would not. I'll be surprised if they do a trade, but I wouldn't be shocked during preseason, mind you.
Does McCarthy start a game this year?
Yes. I think there'll probably be some sort of Murray injury, not necessarily a season ender, but there's the history there.
Yep.
I think McCarthy ultimately does start.
It does add more intrigue for that week one, considering it's Jonathan Gannon now game planning for Kyler Murray, his former quarterback the last 3 years of Arizona.
How well would that actually go, though? Like, you trust,
And it's going to be the debate that people are going to run with. Who's got the advantage? Gannon, the defensive-minded, who coached him the last 3 years, or Kyler Murray, who knows Gannon?
It's kind of a sad debate there, but yeah, that'll be going into week 1. That's a legit question for that. Well, I think the real issue there is still y'all are going up against Brian Flores, and that could also be part of the reason why it's been speculated a bit. Part of the reason why neither Murray nor McCarthy have had a great preseason is that they're going up against the Brian Flores defense, which. Good luck for a whole lot of people on that.
But as a starter, you have to be at least respectable, right?
That too.
Yeah.
Don't suck. There might be some suckitude with that. Is it sad, though, that I think the more likely possibility is that Murray gets injured, but in the meantime, before then, McCarthy somehow injures like a pinky finger in practice, so it'll be Carson Wentz that ends up starting instead?
I don't think that's absurd at all.
No, yeah, I could totally see that happening.
Yep. All right, I know you got to get going, so we'll take our final break and we'll wrap it up with some picks. Coming up after these quick words. All right, we only got a couple minutes left, so let's get to some picks as we wrap up these shenanigans on this Wednesday morning. We've got some baseball games. We got a slate of some preseason games tomorrow we get to pick. That includes the Packers taking on the Steelers. But for today's baseball games, we've got Baltimore taking on the Twinnies of Minnesota. Give me the Twins. Phillies versus the Cardinals. I'll go with the Phillies. Rays Athletics. Give me Tampa. Colorado, Arizona, Diamondbacks. Houston, Astros versus the Giants. Give me the Astros. Guardians Tigers. I'll go with the Guardians. Pittsburgh, Miami. I'll go Miami. Cubs, Nationals. Gotta go with the Cubs. Mariners, Yankees. I'll go Yankees. Boston, Toronto. Red Sox. Let's go with the Mets versus Braves. I got the Braves. Reds, White Sox. I'll go with the White Sox. Rangers, Angels. Give me the Rangers. Royals, Dodgers. I'll go with the Dodgers. Brewers, they avoid the sweep. They get the win behind Dustin May. And then finally, our final pick. The Eau Claire Express versus St. Cloud. Carson Park tonight, 6:35. You got nothing going on? Let's fill up Carson Park and cheer on the Express to victory to advance the championship. So let's go. The Express get it done tonight, and they move on. Let's go. Get the train horns, get the train whistles going. Here we go. Best of luck to our friends at the Eau Claire Express in tonight's playoff game. Let's pick up that W. All right, tomorrow morning, Thursday, we'll chat with Jake Boak. So if you have any outdoor-related questions, please text those on over to us right now at